When it comes to how I work, let me give you an example. There's this one guy I worked with called Peter. Now, Peter's got this sort of elegant vibe. He's sort of classic style, classic taste, right? And he's got quite a calm and encouraging presence. So when we were talking, the references he gave me were Enya, Vivaldi, and Elgar. And so the through line through all of that was this sort of delicate majesty. So that was something I wanted to include in what we were creating. He wanted people to feel encouraged and sort of inspired and hopeful, a little bit more hopeful, a little bit more inspired for having watched his video and listened to the music that was accompanying it. So that was something that I really needed to make sure was going to come across in the music. So when I sat down to do it, I tried a few different things, and I had a bit of a back and forth with Peter about it. And he mentioned to me that he was listening to Radio 4 and he heard this sound of a hang drum on there. And it was really sort of this calming and sort of warm sound. So I thought, right, let me see if I can include that in what I'm creating as well. So I listened to the references. I listened to Vivaldi and Enya and Elgar. One of the things that really stood out with that was there were lots of string sounds, sort of pizzicato strings. And it's, as I mentioned, delicate majesty that really stood out with that. So I wanted to weave those together into something that fit with Peter's video and his overall presence. So in the end, I feel like it came out perfectly. We had this sort of hang drum sound for the most part, and then I brought some piano in as to sort of change it up a little bit. We had some really gentle strings in there with the sort of pizzicato strings, that sort of plucked string sound throughout it to give it that little bit of a lift and that energy. But it was very, overall, it was calming and encouraging and had that delicate majesty that we're looking for. And Peter was really happy with it in the end too.